Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Your Death is Your Gift. That is quite a statement to say. Why is your death your gift? I'm assuming it's because it's the end of your suffering, but at the same time, if you're enlightened, you are not suffering. But then at the same time, if you're not suffering, you're not suffering too. I want to ask that question to Tarat Madanda and Swami Sarvapriyananda actually too. Is I won't say it, but anyways. I do want to ask a question to them, and hopefully they get it. But anyways, your death is your gift. That is a very bold statement, I will say. Is your gift. The only thing I can think of is the end of your suffering. But let's go ahead and give this video a shot.
I remember, mate, the first time we met
Ooh,
was in New Zealand, in Queenstown, a number of years ago. It's
Yeah,
probably 10 years or more ago now.
it was 10 years ago.
How
Yeah.
time flies. But I remember you talking about, that the finite life and the challenge that you put in front of us at the time was about well, if you only had 6 months to live, what are your real
Yeah.
priorities? What is really important for you, and to give yourself a sense of perspective and prioritize the things that really matter. And I think the way you've just described that, and in terms of understanding that it is a finite life, and then people also having that realization, gives you a really good filter to make decisions. Do I really
Completely.
do I really need to sit in front of the television, watching, Married at First Sight, versus going and
Yeah.
spending time with your kids or with your parents or with your friends, or doing other things and priorities, so or working on your business. So I think that's a really great practical tool that you've shared with me, that
Yeah.
helps keeps things grounded. So, mate, thanks for.
And
That is actually interesting. I never thought about asking that question. That's an interesting question. I have to ask some people. Is that I'll ask my audience here, those who likes watching Dandapani stuff. I do. He has some very interesting things. I like to give everyone a shot. If you only had 6 months to live, I mean, again, you don't have to reply if you don't want to, but what would you do? I'm trying to think of that now. What would I do if I had 6 months to live? What would I do? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'd probably quit my job. I'd probably still do what I do. I'd probably continue on this. Yeah, I probably would continue on with this YouTube channel. Um, I don't know about. Don't know what I would do though. I'd probably still react until I can think of something more profound to say on this YouTube channel. But in terms of the rest of my life, I try to just enjoy it like I do almost every day. I'm not saying I enjoy life every day, but I try to enjoy life every day. But yeah, 6 months to live. What would you do? I'd probably go see some sightseeings, have fun with some family, and that's about it. I mean, nothing really extraordinary, I don't think. What would you guys do? Let me know.
yeah, no, I'm so glad you remember that. And the whole idea with 6 months is that it's not that you're trying to live with only 6 months left in your life.
Mm,
The concept, there, as you may recall, is that when you shrink time, you increase the clarity of focus,
yep.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And to
yeah.
give you a simple analogy,
Yeah, you find out exactly what's more important in your life. So you don't necessarily remove everything else, but you realize, if I only had 6 months to live, what would I focus on? Because that would make me the most happiest. And you come to realize the little things that are just little happiness. For example, playing video games or watching a movie, or I don't know, um, playing basketball or something, playing sports. I mean, playing sports might be a very good thing actually, but then you come to realize that maybe cooking for your family means so much to you because you create something that people enjoy, and it gives you great happiness. You go play basketball with friends and family, so it has more meaning. Maybe even playing games with friends and families too, where you spend your last days having fun together. Things you do with people, generally speaking, would be probably what you would do. You and then you you you'd find out clearly what is the least important things in your life if you have 6 months to live. or a couple of days to live. I think that's a little bit too much, though.
If my flight going to wherever is leaving at 8 p.m., is taking off at 8 p.m., if I get to the airport at 2 p.m., I have 6 hours before my flight. I might just go to the restaurant, grab a meal, have a drink, go to the bookstore, browse for some books or whatever, right?
Yeah.
If my flight's leaving at 8 and I get there 90 minutes before my flight, I'm bolting
Yeah.
through security and trying to get to the gate.
Yeah.
Right. So my priorities change based on the amount of time that I have. So the concept with the 6 months is that if I shrunk my time down, automatically it becomes really clear to me who and what's important. Then you take the essence of that clarity and you bring it into your life, assuming you're going to live for another 50 or 70 years or whatever it may be. But now you've kind of squeezed the orange and taken out the juice for lack of a better word.
Yep.
And now you know that you can focus on the juice for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
So the shrinking the time down to 6 months is more like squeezing the orange and getting the juice out.
Yeah.
And once you get the juice, you're no longer focusing on the orange, you're focusing on the juice, and that's what you focus on for the next 50 years. Okay, if I had 6 months to live, these are the people I want to focus on, these are the things I want to do. Now that becomes my point of where I channel my energy.
No, exactly right. No, it's a great learning. I just need to channel some of that into my 15-year-old daughter as she's trying to get ready for school in the morning.
That's a bit much for a 50-year-old daughter, though.
Mate, I remember,
Okay. I think this question may not be something that I think everyone needs to answer, obviously. I think this probably needs to be spoken to people of a certain age and above. Maybe only reason why, obviously, a teenager or a child this is not something that they need to know. When they get to about maybe age 25, I think that's a good starting point. 18 to 24, college years, I think they're still trying to discover themselves. And I think once they're out of college, and maybe even 25 might be a bit young, but it's a good starting point. But I have a feeling, a lot of people is not going to video with me talking now. So I have a feeling a lot of people's not going to take that very seriously. It's like, oh, wow, 6 months. I mean, why do I need to think about it now? I got 50 more years before I have 6 months to live, But the whole point of the question is to make you realize what's more important in your life, who you focus on, what you focus your activities on. A lot of old people, wonder where all the years have gone, And I don't know if you've noticed that as you get older, time tends to fly a lot quicker. And there's a video that I watched that, when you were younger, days takes forever to go by. Weeks takes forever to go by. One day's like a week. 1 week is like a month's like a year, and a year is like a decade. It takes that long for it to go by because when we're young, we're discovering the world. Everything's so new. We don't know things, so we're always learning something. As we get older, we've already know all these things, so they just kind of go unnoticed, and then just time just happens to fly because nothing new is discovered. As the older and older we get, it just time flies because nothing new is discovered. At least that's the reason I remember, and it makes sense, It's kind of crazy, but yeah. What would you do if you only had what would be the focus of your life would be in the 6 months? And also another thing is the fact that obviously, it's going to be a little bit difficult for people who don't have kids, and for those who do and don't, the mindset's going to be different. If they don't have kids or they do have kids. Obviously, the one with the kids, hopefully they want to be with their kids, and the one who don't have kids, there's going to be kind of a two-stroke mindset as well, where they want 6 months to live. You can't exactly have kids if you want kids, and then of course the ones who do not want kids will have to determine what they want to do with that. But yeah, 6 months. That's a very interesting. It's very interesting just because there's enough time to do something with it. And it's not like I was like, oh, I only have 1 week to live. I need to get everything planned now. But with 6 months, you're just like, today you went to the hospital and it said you got 6 months to live without a shadow of a doubt. Then You have time to plan. It's short enough that you can't just say, oh, I can lollygag around and just do whatever I want, but it's not too short where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to do this within a week's time. Anyways, let me know, what would you do if you had 6 months to live? What's your priorities? Again, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I think I told you mine. It's just I would continue to do these videos and just to document my experience of the last 6 months that I have. And hopefully there would be some insights to people who, I don't know, who may be going through the same thing. 6 months to live, you know. Yeah, 6 months to live. Let me watch this random YouTube video. And I'd go exploring the world, I guess. Yeah. There's nothing really much. I genuinely, this is kind of weird. I genuinely do not know. I'd quit my job because I would have, 6 months to live. It's yeah. I'm not gonna be worrying about a job. There are some places I'd like to go visit. That'd probably be the biggest thing. Is probably going to certain countries to go visit those areas and go look around. Hopefully, I have enough money for that. um, Other than that, and document my experience. Other than that, I don't know what else. Be with family, I suppose. I mean, yeah, that's about it. That's not very much, I guess, in my life that I guess I'm pretty content. Maybe that's what it's saying. I don't know. What does that mean if you don't exactly know what you want to do if you only had 6 months to live? I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, like I said earlier. So anyways, let me know in the comments below. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.